Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hi, everyone. We're going to wait 1 minute and let everybody in the waiting room hop in, and then we'll get started. Welcome, welcome. Make sure when you pop into the room that you mute yourself, just so we can have quiet. Welcome, guys. So excited to be sharing this information with you tonight. All right. All right, welcome, welcome. We got a few more people in the waiting room trying to load in. Hope everybody's well. Pop into the chat and let me know where you're joining us from. I'd love to know from where everybody is from. Make sure you mute yourself when you hop in. Thanks so much. All right, guys, 1 more minute. We're gonna get started. Welcome, welcome, guys. Let's make sure we're recording. Awesome. Knoxville, Tennessee. I was born in Memphis. Asheville. I love Asheville. Yep, I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. Lived there till I was 8. I was actually just back in Arlington visiting my grandmother. She lives in Arlington, Tennessee now, right outside of Memphis. Love Tennessee from the west to the east. All right, great to see you guys. Welcome. All right, we're gonna wait for 2 seconds for Katie to hop in. See you there. I know, what a small world. I love that. All right. Let's see. We're going to be here for about 30 minutes, you guys. There she is. Okay, awesome. Sorry, my waiting room is kind of slow because my internet. I live in the country. I live right outside of Atlanta, south of Atlanta. Everything seems slow tonight. Yeah, the waiting room is kind of slow too. All right, guys, welcome, welcome. All right, well, just to protect your time, we're at 9:03. We're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome, guys. I'm excited to be here with you tonight. We're going to be here for about 30 minutes. Katie's going to be sharing a little bit about her story, and I'm going to be sharing some of the nuts and bolts of why we recommend what we recommend. And so I'll do a quick introduction. My name is Eliza Bacote. I am a certified wellness practitioner and also a nurse practitioner. I have worked in modern healthcare in addition to holistic healthcare for the last 17 years. So I'm really well versed in holistic therapies and also modern therapies. And really transitioned my wellness-based practice about 5 or 6 years ago. And had a lot of people come to me with digestive complaints all the time and really felt like I was shooting in the dark. I knew which supplements they probably needed for their different symptoms, but really felt like I needed to find a diagnostic tool. And so that led me to the GI map, and I was my first client. So I've been through protocols just like Katie has, and really fell in love with the test 4 years ago and started using it for my client base. Now, most of you here should have already been a part of Katie's sample group or Desiree's sample group and gotten a sample in the mail to try things for a couple days. So some of the products that we're going to talk about are going to be familiar to you tonight because you've already gotten those sample packs, hopefully. And we're here to answer any questions you have. So tonight we're going to talk about the path to healing, because it is not fun to be bloated after every meal and to have digestive complaints on any given day. It's actually a very miserable existence. And there is a path to healing through natural tools. And getting to the root cause is one of the most important ways that you can find your path to healing. And so we're going to talk about those 2 different paths tonight, and you can choose the path that best fits you. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Katie and let her introduce herself and tell a little bit about her story.
Hello, can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear me, Eliza?
Oh, sorry, I can't hear you, Katie. You were there for a second.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
I see your face.
Can you hear me?
you.
You can hear me? Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome.
Maybe
So I'll
try
just
and
go
jump
ahead.
out and jump back in, Katie, and see if that helps.
Des said she could hear me. I don't know if anybody else can hear me. Let's see. Let me just put in the chat right here. Okay.
Eliza might
Leslie
have
can hear
her
me.
volume down. She might have her volume down, just so you know.
Hallie and Leslie say they can hear you. So maybe it's just me.
Yes, they can hear me. It's you. It's you.
I cannot hear
Okay.
you for some weird reason.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead with my story. But okay, obviously this is a very bloated stomach picture. And I was not pregnant, not even close to being pregnant in this picture. And that is honestly even a mild, like bloated reaction for me. If
Katie, you're just going to have to
any
give me
of
a signal
my-
when you want me to go to the next slide because I cannot hear you for some weird reason.
Any of my stories recently or my reels, if you've seen any of those, I'm trying to show all of the photos that I have been taking and documenting over the years because this has been a struggle for me since the end of college. Now, I think it's certainly something that stress triggered because it was a super, super stressful time of my life. And it's something that had just gone downhill from there. So I would end up bloated like this or worse after almost every meal. Breakfast, usually not because I was just like drinking coffee and maybe having a piece of fruit or something for my breakfast. But almost every other meal, especially anytime I ate out, I ended up looking like this. It was embarrassing. I honestly just like stopped going to people's houses to eat and I would just not eat because this would always happen. And it was just off. I had to like unbutton my jeans. It was so uncomfortable. So, okay, Eliza, move to the next slide. Let's see. Next slide, Eliza. Can you see my hand signals? I'm going to text her because she can't hear me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so
Random.
I had tried
Sorry.
everything. I saw naturopaths, I saw GI doctors, I got endoscopies. I have type 1 diabetes and I have since I was 8 years old. So I knew that I probably had yeast problems because I had been constantly diagnosed with vaginal yeast infections over the years. And that's due to type 1 diabetes, but also due to I had a ton of antibiotics growing up as a child, and it was the 90s. And that's what you did when you were sick. You took penicillin or you took Augmentin. I also had several knee surgeries in my late high school and early college years, which I also think put me into this kind of onslaught at the end of my college years, at this culmination of just it absolutely erupting. And that is those knee surgeries, you know, it had so much antibiotics after that. I had staph infections, right? So it just destroyed my gut. So nobody could fix me, but also nobody tested me like Eliza did with the GI map test. I had all the traditional tests, blood work, endoscopy. I even did some stool tests, but nothing came back with this granular level of results that got to root causes. Like we fixed some symptoms throughout my health journey up and down, like my symptoms would be better from time to time, but we never got to the root cause. So when I heard about what Eliza did after becoming friends with her, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try this immediately because I saw how many people she actually had healed, like for real healed, not just like symptom management, but people who were like better and thriving. So these are my results from my GI map test. This is the worst part of it. And Eliza can go over the, you know, what this really means, but it was bad, you guys. My result was very, very bad. So I'm going to text Eliza and tell her to take over. Oh, well, I guess she's just going to go to the next slide. Okay. And I'm sure she'll get back to those results. So this is a photo from a few months ago, and I take these photos regularly. This is one that shows I literally had eaten all day long. All day long. This was the end of the day, and my stomach was still flat. That is like just night and day. Like I never would have experienced that before until I started doing the GI map. And actually getting to my root cause and treating that. Now, it wasn't right away. Gut healing is not linear. It's been an up and down journey. I felt pretty bad at the beginning. Then I felt really great. And then I felt bad again. And then I felt really great. But I have a crazy story because we're just peeling back layers of the onion in my gut health because it's just been so bad. But consistently for the past, I'd say 6 months now, I've been working with Eliza for a year. So the past 6 months, I am almost never bloated. So I have pretty much solved the problem. Now we're just focusing on the finer details now and these last layers of the onion for me, but almost everything else, like I can eat fully and not have this happen. I do still have a bloating result probably once a month at this point. And even today, I ate something that I am allergic to on accident. There was some soy hidden in something. And through another test that Eliza did for me, the mediator release test, I found out that I've got a lot of food allergies, but that's not the root cause. The root cause is my gut map stuff and then my low SIG-A, which we are fixing. But I am now able to remove some inflammation by knowing what is causing that as well, so that the healing will happen faster. But I ate something, anyway, long story short, I ate something today and that I should have responded to. I felt a tiny bit of bloating and then it was healed, like it was gone. You know what I mean? My body handled it. Like you're supposed to be able to handle things that you have reactions to. So that's been just such a huge win for me. And I noticed I still do react a little bit from time to time. But my healing rate is incredibly faster. And even when I get glutened, I do have celiac disease and I've been glutened, out of my control for a couple of times this year, pretty badly. And I've had a bad reaction, but I recover in less than 24 hours. And that is like a miracle to me. So all that to say, that's my story. I am so, so happy and like just honestly feel like this is the first time I've ever felt fully seen by a practitioner. So many of the doctors I saw were just like, it's IBS or you've got food allergies and you just have to live with it. No, Eliza, through the tool of the GI map, has understood exactly what my root cause problems are and is actually fixing them one by one. And I can tell you it's not easy. It's not a one pill. In fact, it's a bazillion pills and a lot of things, but you are really fixing the problem and not putting Band-Aids on things. So that's all I have to say about that. Eliza, I know you probably want to pop in and kind of give some more of the science and all the things.
Awesome. Thanks, Katie. I had been joined so I could hear you. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I had Ben join so I could hear you. Because I love hearing your story too. You have such a great story. So thank you so much for telling us about your GI map journey and about your healing journey. And the gut healing journey is definitely can be a frustrating one. I used to work neuro ICU, and that is one of the slowest healing organs in the body is the brain. And I tell people the gut and the brain are super connected, and they both heal very slowly. So it's definitely not an overnight fix. For you guys that are listening that have received the samples, now remember, we can use plants and tools to relieve symptoms too. It doesn't have to be something super invasive or difficult. So there's really two paths when you look at how to proceed in this journey. Like you're here looking for answers, you're here looking for help. And really what we want to do is not put a Band-Aid on it, but get to the root cause, right? And so Katie's case is severe, right? She has some other health difficulties that she deals with. And her case was definitely one of the more challenging cases that we've dealt with, right? And her journey is going to be ongoing. So I will say this, for people that do a 90-day journey, it doesn't always end in 90 days. There's a maintenance protocol, and sometimes there's a few other things to fix, especially when you heal things naturally from the inside out. It takes longer. We are in this world of quick and now, and that is just not how it happens in the natural healing world. And unfortunately, the quick healing way through modern medicine typically causes 10 more problems. I've been down that path and I worked in that path. And so I reject that path now because it really doesn't bring people true healing. So there's two paths that we're going to talk about tonight. So some people are ready to dive all in and invest the money for a GI map and start a protocol. When you start your GI map journey, typically there's a consult fee, there's the test fee, and then you pay for supplements for 90 days. And you're really looking at investing about anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 for that. Plus you get support from a guide like me walking you through the process, right? The estimated time is approximately 3 to 6 months or more. And so you have to commit to that and be ready for that. Now that's healing from the inside out. We get a lot of information from that test. We're really able to figure out what's going on with you. you. So we can really narrow our focus, right? We can be very clear about what pathogens need to be killed, how many, what types of probiotics you need. Does the immune system of your gut need work? Otherwise, we're shooting in the dark a little bit. But some people are just not ready for that full path yet due to budget or time constraints, whatever it may be. Some people say to me, Eliza, I'm getting married in 2 months. Is this something I really want to start now? Some women come to me and they're like, I'm pregnant right now. Can I do this? And I said, well, you can't do a full protocol, but we can do some supportive things. So it's okay. The slow entry path deals with symptom management while you wait to either save up the money or get into a mental place, a better place to where you're waiting to heal the root cause. So we're going to talk about the path tonight related to symptom management. You guys know about the GI map path. Katie just kind of told you about that and what the testing looks like and that commitment. And I've given you a little bit more information about the time and the money investment. But what we're going to talk about tonight are some of the things that you received in your sample kit and how we can do symptom management in the meantime and help get you relief so you feel better. So core foundation of symptom management path really deals with making sure you have nutrients. When the gut is disrupted and inflamed, and if you're bloated, it is, I can guarantee you that, you have difficulty with nutrient absorption. Okay. Same thing. You can, supplement and do things like that. But if the vitamin that you're taking is synthetic or is not from whole food and is not high quality, you're not going to be absorbing anything. So one of the most important foundational things that we do for symptom management is get the foundation right. We want you on a vitamin, a mineral, and omega fatty acids. Omega fatty acids are very important to healing the gut lining and to helping lower inflammation in the gut. And you really need those nutrients because sometimes if your gut's been disturbed, and again, you haven't been on a vitamin or a mineral, you're nutrient deprived, and that actually creates like a snowball effect in the body. The gut actually synthesizes vitamins too. And so when it's unhealed, you really have some difficult times with nutrient deficiencies. This is core for a healthy foundation. You'll take 2 of each of those with breakfast, lunch, or you can do dinner too. It depends on when it's easiest for you. And they come in those cute little sachets. It's super easy. You can throw them in your bag and go. But that's core foundational stuff. Number 2, Terrazyme. Almost everybody I see that has gut problems has low enzyme function. Digestive enzymes are very important at breaking down carbohydrates, fats, proteins. And so we almost always have to supplement with digestive enzymes. So this is one thing that when I tell people, hey, if you're not ready to go down the GI map test path, let's go ahead and get you on a digestive enzyme, because almost everybody that is complaining of some sort of symptom, almost every single GI map that I see has low digestive enzymes. This is my favorite digestive enzyme. And the reason why is because it has a component in it that actually blocks gluten absorption in the gut. And it doesn't matter whether you're sensitive to gluten or not. We all have some inflammation from gluten because of the way that they make it now. And we recommend you take 2 to 3 with every meal. And don't worry if you forget before the meal, you can always take it after. That's okay. Or sometimes people take 2 and then take a third after the meal if they still kind of feel full or bloated. And that's going to help a lot with digesting those foods, breaking them down into smaller particles so your body can absorb those nutrients. Number 3, this is really where we get into symptom management. 3 and 4, peppermint soft gels. This is my favorite product. You'll not find anything else out there on the market like this. This is why we recommend this company. And we want you to be connected to us through this company, because we are going to help you and guide you. But this is a special delivery system of peppermint essential oil. You can't just buy any peppermint essential oil. It has to be medical grade. And these have a special delivery system. And peppermint is one of the most studied symptom management tools for people with IBS, bloating, global pain symptoms within the gut with eating. And it's wonderful for digestion. And it helps, again, with those global pain symptoms. Digestin soft gels, again, specialized delivery system, pharmaceutical grade combination of oils, including additional peppermint, ginger, caraway, coriander, anise, and fennel, all extremely important to the digestive system. Those plant-based oils helping you digest your food, helping, actually these do some work on pathogens that you have, and helping stimulate digestion. So you can take 1 to 2 of each of these with every meal or as needed for pain or bloating. And they're very important to use in conjunction with each other. And then number 5, PB Assist. Now, PB Assist is the probiotic we recommend. And I will say this is an entry-level probiotic. You should never take a high dose probiotic without testing, or a medical grade probiotic. So this is one that we use that's sort of like a gentle entry into making sure that if people have other problems going on that we are not sure because we're not seeing a test, that this is not going to cause a lot of disruption. It is double encapsulated, which means it actually gets through that stomach acid and into the small intestine. And it has a pre and a probiotic to replace healthy gut bacteria, which is very important. Healthy gut bacteria help the gut immune system. They help you digest your food. And it's also a prebiotic. What the heck is a prebiotic? Prebiotic is the food, typically fiber, that the probiotics, the good bacteria actually feed on. And so those are together in that pill, which is very, very important to how it affects your body. And number 6, one of my absolute favorite tools, Katie will tell you this is one of her favorite tools too. Most people that have gut disturbance have some sort of anxious feelings, struggle with mood, struggle with nervous system issues. Copaiba soft gels are one of my favorite tools for this. They work specifically on the nervous system. They work specifically to help with mood and anxious feelings. It is a tree resin that works on the cannabinoid system. Now, this is not CBD. This does work on your cannabinoid receptors in a unique way. But again, this is a resin from a tree. It does not have THC or CBD in it. It works on the immune system, again, those gut receptors, and of course, to give you anxious feeling support. We recommend taking 1 to 2 daily at night. You can also take one of these by day if you're struggling. A lot of people that struggle with gut disturbance struggle with emotion and mood because they're very connected. So a lot of times once we heal the gut, you start to see the mood kind of shift out, and people struggle a lot less with anxious feelings or depressive feelings. And so this Copaiba, again, is just another symptom management path to help you kind of manage some of those symptoms as you move towards the gut healing part of your journey.
Eliza, can
Now,
I pop in and say one thing about Copaiba? I was just say, can I say one thing about Copaiba? Because yes, it is my absolute favorite supplement. And if I can only take one thing with me to a desert island to survive, it would be Copaiba. And then the second would be the Terrazyme, which I'm sure she can talk about. But Copaiba for me, because I'm not an anxious person, the way my personality works, I don't go to anxiety and I don't go to depression, but I do go to stress, and not even mental stress. For me, it manifests in my body. And so the Copaiba is the first thing that has ever worked on me to consistently and like every day lowers that overall internal stress response for me. So like I've struggled for a long time with like neck issues because I hold all my stress here, and the second I'm stressed, this flares up. And then I'm like toast for the day. And I went to chiropractors and so many other like massage therapists and doctors try to figure out what's going on. And the root cause of it is stress. And now taking Copaiba for a year now, I would say I have neck flare-ups like this almost the same about much as my bloat has decreased now. So like maybe once a month I have a bad neck flare up, where it used to happen almost every single day. So Copaiba, take that with you when the zombie apocalypse hits. Make sure you got 40 bottles because it'll help. It's literally my favorite thing. Okay, sorry, that's a little side there.
I'm just laughing because I never get below 2 bottles in my house. I mean, I'm kind of like Katie. I don't get too anxious, but I definitely get stressed. I have 3 kids and manage a lot, and I never have less than 2 bottles in my house, usually because someone else around me in my neighborhood needs some too, but I always have a backup. Now, here's an extra tool that you did not receive in your kit, but we want to tell you a little bit about is there's like some additional tools that we use for anxious feelings called the Adaptive System by doTERRA. And these are essential oils for aromatherapy, which are really important to impact the limbic system, the emotional brain, and a supplement to help with mood. The supplement is really unique because it has an herb in it called Scaletium tortuosum, which, for lack of a better term, even though I'm not supposed to make this comparison, just think about it like the happy pill, okay? Like a happy pill you would take, that herb works like a happy pill in your gut and in your body. So it stimulates those happy hormones. And it's also got some lavender in there, which is very well known for relieving some of those anxious feelings that people tend to have, whether it's physical symptoms or emotional symptoms. It's fantastic. I take one almost every afternoon with a Copaiba soft gel. It helps me yell at my kids less, especially when they don't listen to me, which is always challenging. But you can take 2 of those twice daily. And again, you can use that along with Copaiba. And that little system there has some aromatherapy in it, which is really important to calming the mind. People just don't realize what a big deal stress is to the gut. Literally, stress can stop certain positive growth of bacteria in the gut. We see it all the time, and can stop you from pathogens being killed in the gut. So whenever I see people that are resistant to treatment, I'll say, again, did you do the stress part of the protocol? Because we include that in part of our protocols. And how is your stress level? So those are some extra tools to manage your stress. Okay, so let's talk about the bundle and how you actually get your hands on these symptom management tools. Katie and I have partnered together. Des is here tonight. She's also a leader in the wellness world. And so we call this the symptom management bundle for the GI map journey. Again, even if you're not ready to test yet, like, it's still part of your GI map journey, because at some point you'll do a test. So this is the symptom management bundle. It includes a lifelong vitality pack, a bottle of digestin, a bottle of Copaiba, a bottle of peppermint, Terrazyme, PB Assist, all those things that we talked about. And that is $258.50. If you wanted to add on for the anxious feelings and mood support, the adaptive system will be an extra $82. And this is wholesale pricing that you get through us. And so what's most important to us is that you're tied to us so that we can help guide you and walk you through that journey. So if you're ready to get started with the symptom management bundle, what you'll want to do as soon as you get off is send a direct message to Katie. Katie will send you a link, and that will get you all set up. Same thing with Des. If you're here and you came because Des invited you, follow up with Desiree, and she'll send you a link to get started with the symptom management bundle, and plus or minus the adaptive bundle. So we're really excited to help you. If you get started tonight, you will receive a free gift in the mail from us, some freebies. We want you to enjoy some of the natural products that we love. So we're going to send you a little bundle of some of the supernatural, non-toxic products that we love. You do have to enroll by midnight tonight to get that free gift. So don't miss out on that. And with that said, we are at 30 minutes, and I'm going to open the floor for 5 minutes of live Q&A. And I'll check the chat box first.
I'm just going to say one thing, Eliza, and that maybe I can say, but Eliza can't say, and that is that these products, like the things that she can't say, are because of the dumb rules of regulations that we have. There is infinite amount of, not infinite, I mean, that's ridiculous. There's a lot of science showing how this particular brand with these products have reached the ultimate level of purity with the products and are being used in scientific universities all over the United States, doing multiple in-person or on people, right, studies actively with patients, and it's having amazing results. They just released a lot of the studies, and I've talked about all the studies that are happening this year, places like Vanderbilt, University of Maryland. Like, there's so many cool studies happening. So anyways, I'll say there's so much science behind what we've just told you, and I have never found something that works for me like these, which is why I'm such a huge freaking proponent of it. So all right, I'll shut up now. Everyone can ask questions.
Thanks for pointing that out, Katie. The science is always extremely important. I'll just say that baseline. I don't do anything that's not based in science. Every once in a while, I'll get a gut feeling about a client or a patient, and I'm like, I'm just going to put them on this. I don't have a good reason for it, but I feel like they need it. And I just call that 17 years of being a nurse practitioner and having a level of intuition about people sometimes. So that's very, very important. Des asked, hey, Sabrina has some Terrazyme. It expired in 2020. Should she get new? I can't guarantee it will work. If any product that's expired, any medication, any supplement, you're going to see reduced effectiveness over time. And so typically what we see, in the pharmaceutical world is about 50% reduction in effectiveness. So I would say if she takes it, I can't guarantee it's going to work. And if it's hard to tell if it's working if she's never taken it before and the first thing she takes is expired. So it's worth a try. Don't throw it out. I'd use it. I don't think it will be harmful at all, but if it's not working, don't blame it on the Terrazyme. Maybe get a new bottle. Okay, Jessica had a great question. If you're allergic to CBD and cannabis, should you avoid the one that's derived from cannabis? You mean the CBD that's derived from cannabis, or are you talking about copaiba, the tree resin?
I think she's talking about copaiba, Eliza, but the confusion is that it works on the endocannabinoid system and the EB.
Katie, hang on.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, she's talking about copaiba.
I have to hear you on Benton's plugged in. This is the weirdest thing. I don't know what's happening.
I totally get where your mind's going, Jessica. So she's talking about when you said the endocannabinoid.
Resin has nothing to do with cannabis at all. Two totally different plants. So you have cannabis over here. If you look at cannabis under a microscope, it actually has 118 different chemical constituents, all these little bubbles and sacs of essential oils in it. THC is one of them. So is cannabidiol. That's just one of the chemical compounds in there. That's why it's very difficult to get CBD that's not tainted with THC. Copaiba, if you go all the way to Brazil and you tap into some of the copaiba, copaifera is a species there of trees. It actually has sap, a resin that runs down the middle of the tree. And then they distill that and they get something called copaiba. It comes from a completely different plant. It has a chemical compound in it. And when I say chemical compound, this is a naturally occurring in nature called beta-caryophyllene. Beta-caryophyllene works directly on our cannabinoid receptors. It stimulates them and activates them. It's a completely different compound than CBD or cannabis. So just think of those as two totally different things. But we do have this beautiful endocannabinoid system in our body that has receptors everywhere in our brain and our peripheral nervous system. We're working on the ones that are in our peripheral nervous system, including the gut. We have cannabinoid receptors there. So just keep in mind that even though CBD is the rage, it's really tough to get CBD that's not tainted with THC. Okay. It's a very, very, very adulterated market. And I say that because so is the essential oil market. And so it's very, very, very important when we're talking about using products in a medicinal way that are plant-based, that you have something that's pure and medical grade. This is why people will go through some of our pathways and they're like, well, I went to Walgreens and I tried the peppermint and it didn't work. And I'm like, because it's probably not real peppermint. I'm really sorry, but it's just the truth. And so it's not a regulated market. And so it's a highly adulterated market. So is the CBD. And so that's probably more of an answer than you wanted, Jessica, but just to kind of expand on the science that Katie's talking about. It's really, really important to understand. I believe it's really important that you also understand what you're putting in your body, because I want you to feel empowered in that way. And the copaiba is this actually, it works directly on the cannabinoid receptor, whereas CBD works indirectly. So actually a lot of people that don't have success with CBD take copaiba and they're like, where's this been all my life? And why is the rage all about CBD and not copaiba? Well, Katie and Des and I are over here like, copaiba, you guys have no idea. Try this. It's fantastic. But great Jessica, question.
I'm also allergic to CBD. I bloat every time and it's not good for my body. So I'm right there with you. But copaiba has been amazing. And also you can look up which one thing that wooed me to doTERRA. I've been in the essential oils market for a long time. I love natural products. I've tried all the things. But one thing that wooed me with doTERRA specifically and the supplements is that you can look up the mass spectrometry results. So not a lot of things that people know about me, but I'm a science nerd. I actually have a biology degree I never used, and I'm a blogger. But I still understand and I love the science. And so you can look up the mass spectrometry results of every single one of their supplements and oils, and it shows you the purity from the labs. And they're like multiple verified, not just doTERRA's own labs. They have other labs do testing. So that is always just like amazes me. And like, you're putting this in your body. Of course, you want to get the most pure thing that you can possibly get.
Yes, great point. Sorry, I'm like going back and forth muting this thing. Great point, Katie. Third-party testing is extremely important. Carly asked a great question. Would someone need to keep taking these supplements month after month, or would you prescribe these for 30, 60 days, forever? Great question, Carly. Now, the Lifelong Vitality Pack, I typically say, start on this and stay on it forever. I think one of the easiest things people can do for their health long-term, for longevity, to support your body, is to take a really high quality multivitamin, omega fatty acid. And that omega fatty acid in Lifelong Vitality Pack is different than everything out there because it has frankincense and thyme and some other essential oils in it that help support your immune system. And it also has a cell repair blend in there. So that's really important for longevity and keeping your cells healthy. So that one I tell people should be in your monthly order. It's super simple. I automate my wellness for everything because that's what we have to do in our busy day-to-day life. And so that's forever. Now, the theory really is, my goal always is for people, you don't need a lot of symptom management if you go through the GI map test and the GI map protocol and you heal the gut over time. Sure, it may take quite a few months, but theoretically you shouldn't have to take Terrazyme with every meal, peppermint digestin with every meal. That is not the goal for you long-term. The goal would be that you're on a vitamin, maybe a probiotic every once in a while. People actually don't need probiotics every single day that heal their gut. We actually can test for that post protocol and see those levels. And most of the time we back off on probiotics, and people can take them once or twice a week or something like that. And that's typically what I would consider, Carly, as like maintenance therapy. And so really how long you take these specific supplements in the bundle really depend on how well your symptoms are relieved and when you're ready to do the GI map test and kind of go down the actual root cause healing journey. But the only thing I would say in there that I would recommend maybe forever is like Lifelong Vitality and Copaiba. Yeah, Sabrina asked a great question. If you're on antibiotics daily, you should get off immediately. I don't know any other way to say that. There is no condition that you should be on antibiotics for the rest of your life daily. It is extremely, okay, maybe a few conditions. I can't say everything because there are some special unique situations depending on certain disease processes that people have, that they need something. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Carly. I'm glad that answered your question. And this is a very serious thing because you have dermatologists prescribing 6 weeks of therapy of antibiotics for acne. You have this person over here prescribing 6 weeks of antibiotics for this therapy. And unfortunately, what they're doing is destroying the gut health of a nation. I know because I've been an offender in it who has been prescribing antibiotics in the ICU for 2 decades. And if we were trained to actually heal the gut on the flip side of antibiotics, like saying, hey, you just destroyed your gut flora for the next 6 to 12 months. You need to take high dose medical grade probiotics for the next 6 to 12 months. You could get me on board with it, right? And sometimes antibiotics are necessary for some things. If you're, have a severe infection, I'm not going to tell you to drop some frankincense on that and good luck. I'm going to tell you take the antibiotics, but I'm going to tell you to do 5 more things to make sure it doesn't disrupt your gut health. But daily antibiotics, typically people come to me that have been on daily antibiotics have really, really disrupted gut health on their GI maps. So in that case, I would say if you can go down the GI map path, I would definitely choose that and find, and I don't know if you want to share that here, but if you're willing to share what you're on antibiotics for daily, I can kind of give you maybe a little bit of direction.
I can share.
I would go back to the provider that prescribed it and have a conversation about that.
Can you hear me?
I'm gonna hear you through my husband's phone. I have no idea why I can't hear you guys. I'm so sorry.
Now you're muted, Eliza. But okay.
Yeah, I was gonna let Sabrina talk.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, you can hear me? So I had to get my colon removed and they form a J pouch and I have